Shalom. First, I start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Kakadash. Double honor to teachers, elders, and the apostles of Great Millstone, likewise brothers putting on this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep, and two brothers and sisters tuning in. Shalom. Today's lesson is titled Judgments Befitting the Inhabitants of Great Babylon. Okay, which we know Great Babylon has been identified as none other than the United States of America. Okay, now, you know what's taking place here. Okay, you have the ICE agents, which are commanded by the King of Great Babylon, America, to suppress and oppress, beat down, lock up, detain the children of Israel, which is the so-called blacks and the Americans and Latinos. Okay, you see a lot of plagues that's, taking place here concerning the lockdowns, and you see how that's impacting. Okay, and of course, there's a lot of things that's happening, that, is mildly reported. But of course, as watchmen, we, dig into the alternative media, okay, alternative platform and locate, these media, okay, that may be hidden from the general public. Okay, and we can see that the Lord Yahweh Shai is executing judgments heavily on this wicked kingdom. Okay, I'm going to go into a scripture and I'm going to show you two clips, and then we're going to go from there. This is the book of Isaiah 19, and starting verse 14 reads, The Lord, Yahweh Shai, had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggered in his vomit. Needless to say, if you ever seen a drunken man staggered, they're puking over themselves, and, they speak with a slur. Basically everything they're doing is incoherent, and this is what you see taking place here in Great Babylon, America. Okay, the rulers of Great Babylon, America are incoherent, okay, in their decision making. They're not making wise decisions, such as the tariffs. They're trying to get this NWO established. We know that they're going to go into the digital currency real soon, and eventually that's going to move into the MOTB, / World War III, which is going to start. We're going to see the coming of the Lord, the Mashiach, okay, and Lord willing, the man that sighed and cried along with the believers will be delivered out of this place before the Lord Yahweh Shai, judges place, okay, with those nuclear missiles. Continuing, it says, Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. In that day, Egypt should be like unto women, and it should be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shai, which is shaking over it. Take a look at these two clips, and we'll go from there.
I don't usually cry, but yesterday I did, and it wasn't because my stress levels were through the roof. It wasn't even because we had to call the police. It was because over 15,000 of you showed up yesterday to Ugly Potato Day to grab free produce. You didn't just show up, you waited in line for hours. Yesterday was one of the most heavily rained days of the year. I feel that this just shows how broken our country actually is.
How long did you wait in line up for?
About an hour and a half.
An hour and a half in the pouring rain. Dude, you are a legend. You want.
Family is sick, so here we go.
I heard story after story about families not being able to afford produce, and it broke our heart. Overall, we are able to give out 250,000 pounds of vegetables, but I am truly sorry to the thousands of people that we turned away. Hopefully you at least got an apple for my dad in the tractor. We will do this event again, but we will have to think even bigger picture next time.
Well, guys, this is it. We just got laid off. This was our last day here at Parker. Everything's gone. Everything. They took everything, man. We did the last 5 hours here. They're going to pay us for the rest. So, yeah. Be here. My coworker over here talking shit. Look, look.
I would never. I love this place.
That's Big Dog right there. Oh.
So they just laid off this entire factory, and you've seen a skyrocket of so many layoffs within the manufacturing field as a whole. And this specific company is Parker Hanfin, and they all are over in Colorado Springs. But it's crazy, guys, and so many people are losing their jobs in the job market today.
As you saw in those clips, okay, you have the job loss, and then you see, a diverse face of people, okay, that have food insecurity. So we know that they use, the so-called black woman, okay, or the so-called Latino woman as the face of food insecurities and welfare and all of that. But take a look, you can see the so-called Muslim or Islamic women out there, a lot of Edomites out there, okay, all grabbing up the food, whether they needed it or not, okay. is here or there, but they're out there waiting for an hour and a half, okay, just to get some food, and thousands were turned away. So we can see the condition that Great Babylon America is in right now. Okay, it's in a state of misery. Now, when you look at something like this, okay, as cohesive as this place have always been, when they go into these, wars across the ocean, picking out these poor countries, and, you have the service member return back and you hear, thank you for your service, and everybody seem to be happy and jolly. You're seeing that that's not happening right now. In fact, when you go into the book of Matthew 10 and 36, it reads, and a man's foes should be they of his own household. Now, this comes after the Mashiach speak about bringing the sword, okay, to earth, not peace, okay, which is going to cause a lot of people to turn on each other. Now, when men are laid off, and you saw the men, they were joking in the video, oh, we're out of a job right now. Okay, yeah, you might get a little severance pay, depends on what company you work for. That's going to last maybe a few weeks or to a few months, for the best companies, but sooner or later it's going to dry up, along with the unemployment, which is funded by the federal government to the states, okay, to give you. Okay, so when that's all dried up and the bills are piling up, okay, you still have mortgage payment, car payment, rent if you're renting, or other bills, okay, and any of you have gone through it. When you're broke, that's when things get worse. That's when shit just happens to just go worse. It's not going to be a flat tire for the car. It's going to be like your carburetor is gone, or your engine is dead, and now it's just all hell. And we'll go into that, maybe during camp, tomorrow, Lord willing. But this is, you're going to have what is called a blame game that's going to go on. And that's the reason why a man's foes is going to be in his own household. His enemies is really going to be his woman, his children. It's going to be a blame game. It's all your fault. You're not a real man. You're not a real man. Okay, you're going to have the man looking at the woman and going, you spent too much money, bitch. You doggone bitch. You keep spending all the damn money. I keep telling you we can't afford to go for dinner, and she's going to go, you're not a real man. A real man would make enough money and know the answers. Okay, and so you can have a lot of, the people turning on each other. Okay, you go to Isaiah 24, and verse 10 reads, the city of confusion is broken down, every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There's crying for wine in the streets, for all joy is darkened, the mirth of the land is gone. Here we are right now going into the holidays, and as always, people looking to spend. I think they said about Halloween, there's a lot of things that just simply wasn't sold, so they're overstocked. Okay, you have Thanksgiving that's coming up, and that's probably going to be, they're going to overstock and not be able to sell. Christmas is going to come. It's going to be the same thing as they're trying to maintain or sustain, okay, this happy-go-lucky spirit in Great Babylon, America. It simply isn't working. Okay, the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is bringing judgment to this place. Okay, and they just can't get past it. Okay, and this is the reason why you're going to see, well, we don't have Christmas toys because you don't have any money, you don't have a job. Again, the blame game. This blame game eventually is going to become violent. Okay, that's why prior to Matthew 10 and 36, where it reads, and a man's foes should be they of his own household, to talk about this, it says, and when you go in verse 34, it says, think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. Okay, for I come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So it's talking about how, the spirit of people is going to be, so down and dismal that they are going to be looking at each other, okay, to throw blame, and eventually it's just going to be violence. People are going to be taking their handheld weapon and canceling each other out. It's just going to be horrible. Actually, let's go into the Isaiah 3 and start with verse 1. It reads, for behold, the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shemashah, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and staff, and the whole stay of bread, and the whole stay of water, the mighty man and the man of war, the judge and the prophet and the prudent and the ancient, the captain of 50 and the honorable man, and the consul and the cunning Antiphar and the eloquent orator. You can see these companies are laying off people, okay, which is going to create, not only job insecurity, because there ain't no job. Okay, we already know that the jobs on Indeed listed, those are phony. They only to collect your information so they can sell, so that they can, pay their shareholders or their stockholders some money. Okay, but what you have is food insecurities. Okay, and it's going to be at all levels. Okay, people are going to stop going to church and friggin' pad their pastors' pension or whatever the hell he's collecting his money for, okay, and start giving money, these soup kitchens and these giveaway food that you see in the video, it's all going to go away, okay? And this speaks, to the children of Israel, the so-called Blacks and Americans and Latinos, from the northern and southern kingdom, but also the effect is also going to be upon these other tribes that are here, okay, including these Edomites, okay, pursuant to Deuteronomy 30 and 7, where the curses are going to go on these other people, okay? They're our enemies, okay? So they're going to be feeling it too. And it's going to come from all levels. These companies right now, they're going into AI, and they don't give a crap about how skilled you are. Right now, they're looking to just pad the pockets only of the elites. This is Luke 6 and verse 25 reads, "Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep." We've been saying this for years, okay? And this is actually going to get worse, okay? Because, there are still people who are eating. There's still people who are going to enjoy the holidays and everything like that, But we're talking to our people because we're telling our people right now that there's going to come a time where, which we are already in it, Jacob's trouble, where it's going to get so horrible, including the fact that you won't have the staying staff. You're not going to have safety at all, as this devil is coming to eradicate us, pursuant to Genesis 27 and 41, where Esau said that he will slay his brother Jacob, 12 tribe of Israel. It's already started. The process is already here. So just stay vigilant, Yasharala. Stay vigilant, okay, because as Matthew 24 and 8 says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So Lord willing, the lack of edified, that goes back in honor and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Rakakadash. Shalom.